Guys, Mr. Cruz here to show you guys how to graph inequality. So this is actually some really easy stuff that you guys probably learned back in, like, I don't know, fourth, maybe fifth grade. But we're going to go through these, and this is actually really easy, but it's also going to build on what we're going to be learning later on when we start solving inequalities. All right. So first up, when we're talking about graphing inequalities, when we're talking about inequalities specifically, we're talking about these symbols. So you might have remembered them talked about as like gator mouth, right? And that the rule is that the gator mouth always eats the bigger number. And so if I'm reading it from the left to the right, this would be less than, this would be greater than, and then sometimes they have these lines underneath it. And if we see the line underneath it, that means it's going to be less than or equal to, and then this one would be greater than or equal to. A part of what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be graphing them. So when we have just the gator mouth, we're going to use something called an open circle. So it's just, well, let's see if I can mess that up. All right, it's going to look like that. But when we have greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, it's going to be a closed circle. And that just looks like a regular old circle with the pretty much just filled in, right? We close it up by filling it in. The way I like to think of it is if they take the time to draw the line underneath the gator mouth, I got to take the time to actually fill in the circle when I draw the circle. All right. So let's go ahead and go through some examples here. All right. So this, I'm going to read it like we would normally read, like we read from left to right. So X, and it's eating X, right? The gator mouth is eating X. So I would say that as X is greater than 1. So when we go to plot this, we're going to be using an open circle because there's no line underneath that gator mouth. So it's going to be an open circle. I'm going to put an open circle above 1 on my number line. And since X is greater than 1, I'm going to highlight all the numbers that are bigger than 1 on my number line. And which ones would that be, or what direction would they be? They would be all the way to the right. So this is what graphing it on a number line would look like. All right, let's go over another example. At this point, we're done, right? X is greater than 1. We highlighted the number and we shot it to all the numbers that are bigger than 1, or highlighting them by showing which arrow or what direction we're going to be going through. All right, let's go over another one. Here we have, I would say this as X is greater than or equal to -9. So is this going to be an open circle or a closed circle? This one is going to be a closed circle because it has the line underneath. So on my number line, I would put a closed circle on 9 or on -9, and X is greater than or equal to. So that means that it's going to be going to the right with all the numbers that are greater than or equal to -9. Another way that I kind of look at this is that, like, we have our inequality symbol that looks like this, right? Well, that kind of looks like the tip of our arrow, which lets us know what direction we're going to be sending, which direction we're going to be highlighting. So the gator mouth kind of acts as like a little hint that lets us know what direction we need to be highlighting those numbers. All right, let's go over 2 more here. All right, let's see here. We have X is less than or equal to 6. So it's going to be a closed circle on 6 on our number line. And then just by looking at the gator mouth, what direction do we think it's going to be going to? It's going to be going to the left, right? Since X is less than or equal to. So there we go. Let's do one more. Here we have X is less than 18. Actually, you know what? Instead of this, let's turn it backwards. Let's do 18 first. Let's do it like this. All right, so here I would say this is 18 is greater than X. Now, what we could do is I would say either do one of 2 things. Whenever we don't have the variable on the left side, I would say to either put X first, like flip the whole thing backwards, or just read it from the side that the variable is on. So if I read it from the side the variable's on, I would start here with X. So X, the gator mouth is not eating X, so that means that X is less than. So X is less than 18. Or you can swap them. So I'm going to put X over here. I'm going to put 18 over here. And then when I drop down my gator mouth, I just have to make sure that my gator mouth is doing the same thing that it was doing before. And I can see that it was eating 18. So when I put it here, I got to make sure that it's eating 18 as well. All right. So then I have X is less than 18, right? Which is exactly what we had before. So if I keep moving, X is less than 18, which is what we said earlier. It's going to be an open circle on 18, and it's going to be going to the left with all the numbers that are less than 18. All right. there you guys go. Don't worry about this slide, but hopefully understand that really easily. And now you understand how to plot numbers on a number line. This is kind of light work, I'm not gonna lie. But go ahead and jump on the IXL or whatever assignment you guys got to go on to. And good luck. Hit me up later. Peace.